All right, my friends, it's another episode of More About Storytelling coming to you first thing in the morning on a bright and cheerful spring Thursday. The groundhog did not see his shadow. We're hoping for an early spring. Whoop, whoop. And today we are going to talk about horror. More About Storytelling is crossing the pond for its first international interview. I can't wait. I'm going to be jumping right into it with George Morris Diath. I can't wait for you to hear it. I've said that twice. Let's go. Once upon a time.
In a galaxy far, far away.
It was a dark and stormy night.
Gather round, my friends. Let me tell you a story.
All right, George Morris, how is it? Diath? Diath? How do you pronounce the last name, George?
It is Diath. I liked, because most people don't even try. And I like that you gave that a lot of effort with that. I've never heard anyone pronounce it that way. So you got quite creative there. I liked that.
I spent time looking at I ordered your book. I have the Haunting of Morsley Manor. And I spent time trying to perfect it. And I was like, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name until we've had the interview and he can tell me how it works.
No, usually I'll speak to someone, and like I remember once I went to this producer meeting here in London, and this producer, who I'd never met, by the way, he just points at me and goes, as I'm coming up the stairs, "Oh, it's the Deaf Boy." And I was just like, "Oh, okay." I was like,
that's your label now, the Deaf Boy.
It's just the Deaf Boy. Oh God! What a marketing ploy that is.
Yeah, well, over here that means a totally different thing.
God.
I mean, not so much in Canada, but in the South, in the United States.
But yeah, Diath. We, in my family, we're always debating. I mean, we just had Christmas, obviously, and it comes up every single Christmas as to whether Diath is French, whether it's Welsh. Nobody knows. And I mean, by that point, I'm too drunk to care. So, you know.
Oh man, that's awesome. I gotta love your guys' European culture, man. It's just like beer for breakfast, and I'm there for it. You know,
it's literally, especially I think here in the UK, because the weather is just so grey and what's the expression? Shit. And just politics. I mean, I know like you guys and stuff with politics at the moment. It's all just so depressing. So I think like the British way has always just been. I know like. The classic motto has been keep calm and carry on. But like, I feel very much that it is drink, drink, drink and just deny, deny, deny.
Yeah, you know, that's good. That's good. I like it. You know, and my lineage, I was descended from Italian on my mom's side and Irish on my dad's, right? So supposed to be a temperamental alcoholic. I know, right? It's a good mix. Temperamental alcoholic, right? But yeah, my dad and them on the Irish side, they used to say that if it weren't for the invention of alcohol, the Irish would rule the world.
You know what? I see that. I do see that, actually.
Too much drinking and fighting, right?
I've never done such a thing in my life. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm innocent.
I sense some dry British humor coming out of you there, my friend.
My publicist has a sniper on my forehead right now. I'm going to have to say no comment, no comment.
No comment, no comment.
Yeah.
Man.
You know, I'll just be like, oh, well, that economy, eh? You know, let's change the subject.
Yeah. So I got to ask, like, I'm super fascinated now. So when I first read your name, George, on the cover of your book, I thought that it was a pen name. Like, I thought Diath was a pen name. And I'm like, that is actually really cool. Like, what a good moniker for a horror author. But yeah. It's legit. That's legit your last name?
That is 100% legit, my friend.
Listeners, this dude was literally born to write horror. Literally born to write horror. Named
I know.
for it.
It's a weird thing. I mean, because I was born, so my dad is Morris, and I was born George Morris, but my mother's side of the family are Diath. And when I was basically applying to be like an actor, we've got something over here called Spotlight. And I went to this agent meeting, and she was like, there's already a George Morris, so you have to, change your name or get a double barrel name to even get on Spotlight. So I did. I legally changed my name to Diath, and also I was like, for that reason, but also I was sat there in my room at the age of 18 being like, that sounds cool. So yeah, I mean, it is my name. It's on my passport and everything. And it's one half of my family. I mean, my dad's side of the family, Morrises, this is a very weird mix. They're very much East Londoners, and I don't know if I should say this or not. Fuck it, I'm going to say it anyway. They used to work for and like live in the same flats as the Craze brothers. I don't know if you know who that is.
No.
But they were like the most notorious London gangsters back in the day.
Shit.
There's a little exclusive for you. And then my mum's side of the family are very witchy. So I guess that breeds me, which is, I mean, what can I say? I'm just a witchy crime boss. I mean,
oh man, that is fantastic. That is the coolest origin story for a supervillain that I've ever heard, man. That's awesome.
I mean, Batman will run after me, and I'll just be like, "You're wearing that." My super weapon will just be like sassing the rubber outfit. If it's Michael Keaton's Batman as well, not being able to turn the neck, I'll be like, Jesus, how do you move in that thing?
You just got to be able to run in circles. That's all. You get around him in no time.
Exactly. I'll clickety clack away in my boots, My Little Pony style. But yeah, it's just quite it's a fun little, Morrises were a bunch of, I mean, my grandmother, who, bless her heart, love her lots, just passed recently. But she was a fence. She was a fence for the Craze brothers. And they used to have them round for Sunday lunch and stuff. And these people used to cut people's fingers off and everything like that. And my nan always talking about them was like, they were lovely boys. They were lovely boys, they were. And then, just witchy grandmother on my mum's side, the Diath. So, yeah, quite the spicy cocktail.
Indeed. Man, and that fits, hey? You imagine living your life with a name like Diath and then being witchy. That's just the coolest thing ever. How did you survive the Salem witch hunts?
Again, a lot of gin. Drink, and just deny. What I did.
Oh, yeah. Man. Oh,
it
dude.
wasn't me.
George, man, so you are also, beyond being an writing books and being an author, you're also a playwright too, I read.
I am indeed. I've actually got a meeting tonight about a play maybe getting commissioned for this November, which is a bit of a dark comedy set during Christmas. It's a weird thing though to go for a meeting about a play about Christmas in January. It's a weird thing to do, but here we are. Anyway, I can say that about 99% of the situations I get in my life. Here we are, Here we are.
That's why we drink.
And deny. But yeah, I mean, I do plays. I've also got a sitcom that's currently in development, which is very much, it explores the modern day influencer model lifestyle, but it's being pitched as new age, absolutely fabulous meets Arrested Development. Wow. Whether that does get commissioned or not, who can say?
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll wait and see, but there's been talks and whatnot about it, and I'm meant to be having more talks soon. But and then I used to do some acting and hope to get back into that. I did some modeling back in the day, but not now because I'm old and crusty.
Oh no, getting wrinkles.
Surely not.
Surely
Yes,
not. Tell me
I
it's not
know.
true. That's the best. That's the best UK accent I can pull out of my hat. By the way.
Do it again, you know.
No.
You sounded like, you know who you reminded me of then? You reminded me of like Dr. Smith from the original Lost in Space, who just couldn't keep his composure in any situation, just, you know, sitting there going, oh no.
Oh no. You know, it's great. It's funny that you mentioned that because as a kid, when I was growing up, and I used to watch all this stuff on the satellite with my parents, you know, like we didn't get a lot of North American television back then, like not a lot of American television. We did get a lot of like BBC shows like Doctor Who and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, like I grew up on all those kind of things, and there was a time in my life where I was really good at imitating accents, like really good. And I could flip through them like going through a TV channel. So I used to go through drive-throughs, which I'm not sure if you guys have those in UK, like McDonald's drive-throughs. Yeah. And I'd go through a drive-through and I'd use one accent at the microphone and then another accent when I paid and then another accent when I picked my food up. And it was always fun watching their faces and be like, what's going on here?
What was your best accent?
To be honest with you, it was actually the East Indian accent. I was always very good at it. I don't know why. Maybe because there's so many of them in Canada. I don't know, but yeah,
I like that. That was very good. Where's Kenton gone? Who's this man who's taken over? You know.
Oh, he went to the bathroom. He'll be back in a moment.
I can do quite a good Australian, but then I sound a little bit like Mr. G from Summer Heights High.
You really do. That's great.
Yeah. I can also weirdly do I mean, I sound a little bit like this anyway. My friends are always roasting me about this, but I'm quite good at Roger the Alien from American Dad. It's like, oh, Staniel, where's my grenadine? Steve!
You sound like you do the voice acting for him. Holy cow.
I mean, maybe I do, you know, maybe I do. Maybe I'm just too drunk to remember.
Fair.
Again, deny.
Deny. In terms of celebrity impersonations, my best one, I think, is probably Sean Connery. You know, like from you remember the movie The Rock with Nick Cage? You know, where he's like, "Yo, best losers always whine about their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen."
That was good. That was very good.
That's my favorite celebrity impersonator.
I used to have back in the day when I was a sprightly thing and I was out clubbing, there was this one night where I just adopted this persona called Casper Snakehole, and he had a Sean Connery accent like that, and it was just, I don't know, when I get bored I just love lying. Lying is my passion. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah,
I just love it. I love making up fake personas and talking to people about stuff. I used to like work on a bar, and I remember I got really, really bored, and I started saying my name was David. I was like a psychology major at a university that I made up. For nobody else's amusement but my own. There was no one else on that bar. Like I think this might be partly, you know, the writing in me, because, you know, there's no one else in the room, so I'm just sitting there going, like, typing away going, yes,
this works, I like this direction,
let's make a story, George. And then the voices say, yes.
Yeah, right. But that's what acting is, though, right? Like, acting is adopting another persona. And it's fascinating that you, like, put that in real life practice, whether it's funny as a joke or not. Like, that's talent, man. Like, I'm impressed.
Yeah. I don't know. I just lie for boredom. I just do it for the banter, you know.
Deny.
And then deny. I don't know who Casper Snake Hole was. I don't you know. I hope no one's listening to this that might have met Casper Snake Hole, but I'm sure they didn't.
I love it. I love the name too. The name is absolutely fantastic. Like, that's so funny.
I also had because one Christmas party or something that my mum went to, she bought like this Cher wig, and then I went to a staff party and no one recognized me because I had like the hair in like a ponytail but at the front covering my face. And I don't know why I was doing this. It's probably the gin and my own psychosis. But I was going around telling people I was called Muffy Moffat. And I just started neighing. I just started going...
That's the most random thing I've ever heard.
I don't know. I just, you know, it's for my own, I don't know. It's for my own amusement, I guess. But
oh, man.
People are like,
wow.
who the hell is Muffy?
Oh, you know, I wish I could say I'm a stranger to that kind of thing, but I'm so not, because I've always lived my life as the guy that would go the extra length just to entertain people and keep everybody laughing, you know.
Yeah, you've got to laugh. You've got to laugh. In this economy,
if you can't have fun, you know, especially at work, you know, I used to say that all the time. Used to be a saying for me, is if you can't have fun at work, you can't have fun anywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When I'm at work and I say, oh, does someone have a bath and a toaster? You know, I mean, that just gets me through the day.
My best friend says that all the time.
I love it. I've also got this thing of every time, and I did it to someone yesterday who didn't even know me, but every single time someone says to me, oh, hi, how are you? I always say without failure, passable like a kidney stone.
Ooh, that's great. That's great.
Or still breathing. Just because I get I get bored of like the whole, you know, I'm okay. How are you? Like, oh yeah, I'm good.
I like trying to shirk the trends as well and say weird things. Like, people say, "Did you miss me?" And I say, "With every shot so far."
I like that one. That was good.
Yeah, you'll have to use it.
Yeah, writing it down now. You hear a scribbling sound like.
Your publicist with the laser sight on your head's probably shaking his head now.
Yeah. No. Deny.
What inspires your writing, George? Like, what is it? Is it this, you know, like what you've already expressed with the comedy and that snarky, edgy humor, the sass? Like, what inspires your writing, and why horror?
Gin. No, no. I think I've reflected back on like a few of my past books, because I wrote Haunting about, I think it was like 8 or 9 years ago now, and at the time, like the themes of the book and stuff, it's a lot about toxic relationships, whether that be friendships or relationships or whatever. Like at the time of writing that was something that I was very interested in and was like going through my own shit with. So I think it's just like whatever is on my mind at the time. And I've noticed that with some of my other books that have not yet been published, but hopefully soon. Publishers, wink, wink. If you're listening. Yeah. Wink, if you're wink. Listening, I'm waiting.
And I hope you are.
But yeah, I think it's just whatever's on my mind at that current time, really. I mean, I've done this whole book that's this was about a year or so ago, that was all about death and accept it, like my name. But it was all about how death isn't necessarily a bad thing, but a good thing, and can be a gift, and accepting death and all that. But the premise of the book is very Lost-like in a sense, where it's set back in the 80s and people go on this boat and they get taken into the Bermuda Triangle and they wind up on this mysterious island. But it's all very, very weird, and it's all about these characters coming to terms with death and their relationship with death and what it means to them. So I don't know why at the time I was obsessed with death. Maybe I was saying that line about the bath and the toaster a bit too much. Who knows? But yeah, I think it's just whatever's on my mind at the time. And I mean, we all love Stephen King. I was reading Stephen King at a very young age, and I've always just been very intrigued by the macabre, and dark storytelling. Yeah, and dark storytelling. And it's
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, it's a weird thing because, I mean, the first story I ever wrote was at the age of 7, and it was all about this little boy who basically fell down a drain, and he goes walking through the tunnels and he finds this, like, massive chained, monstrous-looking man who's like not very well developed and stuff, and he becomes friends with him because he's like a gentle giant, and then it's revealed that it's this really rich family son that they're keeping down there because he doesn't fit the norms of their family and they don't want him to be seen in public. And when the little boy obviously finds out about this, the mother who's down there feeding him tries to kill him, and then the like monstrous friend, the gentle giant, tries to protect him but accidentally kills him. And then he kind of, by the way, this is all me at the age of 7. Can I just say this is all me at the age of 7? And the gentle giant winds up killing himself so they can both be like ghost boyfriends in the sewers and play ball in the sewers and be free away from his evil family. Again, 7 years old. There were questions being had about me and my mental state. But that was the first story I ever wrote. And I think that says a lot about me.
Yeah, well, you're not wrong. I mean, I think you and I share that in common because I think I was a little older. I was about 12 when I started writing my first stories. I always read. My mom used to get us reading all the way from very, very, very young. And I was doing, Peter Benchley and Stephen King when I was like 10. I was reading way, way above my level. And the first short story I ever wrote while I was in grade school was it was about vampires. But of course I didn't call them vampires. They were like bat people. I called them Batavians.
Oh, I like that.
They lived in like a hive, and they would come and take people and turn them into more. And it was pretty wild. But of course, it ended up with a meeting with my mom and the school counselor.
We've all been there.
I don't understand why am I in trouble? It's just a story,
Yeah,
Mama
it was a good story.
Yeah, Mama told me that the make-believe can't hurt me, so I write about what scares me.
But isn't that so funny? Like, because obviously we writers, we write to kind of escape and be immersed in the world we create. But it's such a funny thing, I guess, for our mental state that we want to escape into a world of pure horror. I just find that so funny. It's a very interesting thing.
I find there's a lot of stigma about it too. Like when you announce to somebody that, oh yes, I write thrillers and dark horror and very, I've met a few ladies who write monster fuck tales, like some out there stuff, and like there's this stigma that happens where it's like, oh, that must mean you're messed up in the head. Well, no, I counter with. I think that people who write these kind of things aren't messed up in the head. They're not that type of person. They're just fascinated by it existing. And you're trying to explore it through your fiction. That's what I find is this.
Yeah, and you're interested in just, and sort of channeling that to give the world an interesting story so they might understand it a bit better as well. I think one of the biggest problems we have is that, most of society doesn't understand truly the early warning signs of evil, probably hence why we're in the certain predicaments politically that we're in.
Yeah,
but let's not get
right.
into that.
That would take an hour.
Oh, that's too long. That's a series. That's a series of podcasts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's always a very fascinating thing. And I think for certain people like us, like it's obviously very much ingrained into our systems at a very early age. And yeah, I just think it's very interesting when you look at like how different the creative brain is to say like someone who's more academically inclined. It's just fascinating. And like we're stronger at certain things and then weaker at certain things, and then other people are better, better in other ways and like weaker in other ways. And I just find that so interesting. And
for sure.
and I mean, and I'm sure you agree with this, but I really don't like how the education system kind of, undermines the creative brain and how it can actually be utilized and taught to make some pure good talent. I mean, here in England, we have our core subjects, which we're told are English, maths, and science, but we're told it's basically maths and science. But yeah, it's just, I've got dyscalculia, so you give me 2 and 2 and I'll make a gin martini, let's face it. But can you tell I've got gin on my mind tonight?
Oh,
maybe.
Yeah.
There's a semantic field going on here of gin and alcoholism.
You
but no,
you got me thinking that it's going to be gin type tonight too, but it's only like 9 a.m. for me, so I've got a whole day ahead of me first before I can get into that.
yeah, breakfast, Joan Crawford style. But yeah, I find that very, very interesting. And just also how creatives all work so differently.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's kind of funny too that you mentioned Stephen King, because one of the things that I love, I love Stephen King. Obviously, I have his work on writing. His memoir of the craft is like my Bible for writing. Some of his rules in there that he recommends, like I just love it. But he once said that it has never been attributed as an actual quote, but he once said that writers of horror and supernatural and dark fiction and all that kind of stuff tend to be on the level like science fiction authors, also more intelligent than average. And he attributes that to less about being fascinated by fear, but in order to be a good horror writer, you have to possess a certain level of understanding of what fear is, like the psychology of it, in order to actually make it effective in your writing. Hey?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think, because I think a good comparison is, horror movies that are just full of jump scares. They're so boring and forgettable. You need those movies that really get under your skin and, have that creeping sense of dread. I don't like a jump scare. I think it's cheap. I think it's irritating, if anything. I'm also very my whole body will go into fight or flight mode. So, I don't want to, buckaroo the person's head in front of me in the cinema.
Right.
Yeah.
Or throw your popcorn all over. Yeah.
I've done it. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Please don't hit me.
Not in the face. Not in the face.
No. But yeah, I mean, I think you have to be kind of gentle with getting that dread into readers and viewers of whatever medium it is, because you want something to be creepy.
Yeah.
And
sure.
something that lingers. And I think just, being like, the monster popped out, it's like, well, that's shit.
Yeah.
So you have to, it's that, it's the little hints that there's something not quite right, and that uncanny valley feeling of, oh, is something wrong? I feel like something's wrong, but there's, what's happening now?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, my favorite types of horrors, like the older ones and stuff like that, where despite the fact that he really went off the rails, but M. Night Shyamalan's early work, where he keep you guessing the whole time.
Yeah,
never show the monster. Always have it lingering and show its effects, but don't show it. I love that kind of thing, and that's what always made really good horror for me.
But also, like with mysteries, some mysteries just don't need to be answered. I think it's nice to like sprinkle a few like clues here and there for audiences and readers to make up their own minds and theories. But you don't need like every single mystery to be solved, because otherwise,
Oh,
I think that
for
kind of,
sure.
yeah, because it kind of robs the allure of the genre and also just the story you're trying to tell. There's a
Yeah.
difference between, Chekhov's gun, and because of course you have to pull that trigger when you're doing that. But
Yeah.
there's a difference between that and, and just leaving some things for the reader or audience to speculate for themselves.
Yeah, that's honestly the Schrodinger's cat type writing that leaves you guessing how things go, and it leaves it up to you. I find that's the stuff that lingers because it creates discussion and discourse, and perfect pop culture example of that right now, and how desperate our stupid society is to have everything told to them. Ugh. Stranger Things. The way Stranger Things just ended. I don't know if you're watching that show at all.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it's all over here in the north. It's all over social media, and like people are clamoring and screaming and crying for a new episode because it was left open ended. It wasn't directly answered. But if you listen to the damn show, it literally states that the ending is what you want to believe. It like it depends on how you want to accept it. Like when Mike tells the story, he said that's what I choose to believe, and it's like, good Lord, how much more do you need it served to you? It's right there. But everyone's like, no, there's a secret 9th episode that's going to be coming out, and it's going to have the real ending. It's like, get out of your picket fence, man. Like, you gotta.
Yeah, and like I think another one that's, I mean, I'm a bit torn on this, but obviously like Weapons was so great this year.
Oh, I love that movie.
Amy Madigan's performance. I mean, I really hope she wins the Oscar because wow. But they've obviously announced like a Gladys prequel that's going to explain her, and I mean, that sounds cool, but then I'm also a bit like, do I want the mystery of Gladys solved? Because I quite like the mystery being left open as to what the fuck is going on with Gladys.
I totally agree with you. And I love that. I love that she just came from nowhere, and it's like, how old is she? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where did she come from? How has nobody picked up on her bullshit yet? Like she can't just go around from town to town stealing life force in the manner that she was without somebody noticing, right?
And it's all the little, it's the subtleties as well of, she's contradicting herself, and then the little hints of her saying, oh, it's just a touch of consumption, which makes it seem as though she's much older than she really is. It's all those moments that just really enrich that character in the allure
brilliant.
of the shrouding of her past. And I think that's a fabulous performance and character. So
for sure. When I was in art school, I'd studied concept art for film and television for a while. And one of the books that they got us to read while we were in school was called Framed Ink. And it was a book all about how to tell the greatest story in the smallest amount of space. And, it like makes sense. And there was a part of it I'm never going to forget. And I apply it to so much of my storytelling now, especially when I'm, it doesn't even matter whether I'm writing my steampunk series or my horror short stories, it doesn't matter. But it says that you're given a budget to make 2 movies, but you only have one single room, right? And 2 actors and whatever. One of the movies has to be like a Hallmark happy family movie. The other one has to be like a super dark horror movie. It was like, how would you accomplish this? And the answer is lighting, right? So when you hide aspects, like when you block out the window, light the room with a single candle so it's full of shadows everywhere and all the corners are dark, the human brain automatically creates or imagines what's in that darkness, right? It fills it in, and that's unsettling because it's uncomfortable. You don't know. But when everything is lit and every detail is shown, you're happy and you're comfortable. And you can see that in real life when you watch a Hallmark movie and everything's bright and pastel colors and super cheery and people are always smiling. And, and most of the scenes are in the daytime. And if they're not, there's Christmas lights,
Yeah.
Or you watch like Alien, the first Alien movie with Ripley and them in space, and it's like the Nostromo ship is haunting darkly lit corridors with barely any light whatsoever, and the alien could be in any of those places, and you're on your edge of your seat that way, right? And I love that.
It's always the uncertainty. I mean, as human beings, I think we're all just control freaks, and we have to understand every little thing that's going on all the time and have complete control over everything. And I think that's why you need that dread in horror. Like with Amy Madigan's Gladys, we don't know her. We don't know what the hell is going on with that woman, and she's very unpredictable. Another performance, which I think literally just came out yesterday, is apparently is it Jack O'Connell's performance in the new 28 Years Later? Apparently he's very, very unpredictable. And when you've got those characters or scenarios and situations that are so unpredictable and you don't know what is about to happen, that makes you so tense. And also so captivated at the same time because you don't know what's coming, but you can't look away.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and was that the Bone Temples one, or is that the spinoff or whatever? Yeah,
the Bone Temple.
That looks really cool. I can't wait to see that. I haven't watched it yet, but Sinners, the Sinners movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that. Another excellent example, like the vampire that shows up at the beginning. Like, was he an alpha? Was he just a survivor of another tribe? Where did he come from? What happened to those First Nations people that were hunting them? They just left and never showed up for the rest of the movie. Like, they're sometimes I think the greatest parts of any story are the parts that aren't answered.
Yeah, because also I think it's such a good thing to leave the audience and readers to fill in the gaps themselves.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man, that's what I love about horror and story is you know what I mean? Like this right here, like what we're talking about and how these things affect our lives and how they affect us as storytellers. Like that's just the coolest part about all of it, isn't it?
I think we're in a funny place as well with horror at the moment because we want to always have elements that pay homage to previous classic stories, but then it's all about putting a twist on them. Do you find that?
Oh, big time. 100%. Yeah. It's like this, but this.
Yeah. And you go in thinking it's going to be one thing, and then it completely subverts your expectations in a really clever way. And you go, oh, I didn't know we were doing that, but okay. And I think that's where like horror is at the moment, and that's really, really exciting.
Yeah, and I think the other part of it too is I think as I get older, the reason why I'm turning back into prose mediums like novels and comic books and stuff is movies and television and video games have been taken over by money, by capitalism. And they're at a point now where they won't take a chance on something new. They won't. I talked to a guy a while ago. I was doing writing for animation and stuff, and I wanted to get into, maybe pitching one of my stories as an animated series. And I talked to him, and his advice to me was write the books, get an audience, and then try to sell it, because studios are only interested in what they call a pre-packaged franchise. They want something that already has a fan base because it guarantees people will at least go see the movie and there's a chance they'll make their money back. And if it does really well, then cool, they'll keep going. But I find that bullshit. It's bullshit, man.
It's scary.
It is. It's scary. I don't want entertainment to become a hollow machine. And that's why I love things like Stranger Things that just come out of nowhere. It's like, where the hell did that come from? And it's such a masterclass. And, I would like to say Game of Thrones, but Game of Thrones was a highly popular book series before it became a TV show, and things like Arcane, which I think is a masterclass in character storytelling, right? But it's based on that League of Legends video game, which has a massive fan base. it's frustrating.
No, it's
but
very, very frustrating, especially when you're in the room and there's other meetings being had for stuff that is just more of the same stuff. It's a carbon copy of stuff that's already come before. And
for sure.
It's just frustrating. It's very, very frustrating. And I think something that I get really frustrated with is when, say, like influencers are being considered for acting roles or even like it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Content creators are very, very good at what they do, but I don't understand. I mean, it's not so much now. I think it was more in 2020 when producers and executives were getting influencers in the room for acting roles and other certain roles. Yeah. But it's just they're very good at what they do. But then there's people that, train and study to be actors, to be writers, to be all these other things. So it's very frustrating for those people that put the time and the effort in to do that. And for them to get sidelined because somebody's got like 3 million followers on TikTok.
And that's exactly why. Because if they put them in a movie, all those followers are going to be like, oh my God, my favorite YouTuber's in a movie. I got to go watch it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then actually, because it's funny, I had an interesting conversation with a producer quite recently where they said the reason why that fad has fallen off is because they realized very, very quickly that, and this goes for like, Broadway, West End shows, this goes for TV, this goes for films, everything. They realized pretty quickly, the industry, that the followers, it doesn't translate to those other mediums because they're so used to seeing those people doing what they do best, for a minute on TikTok and whatnot. And again, do it very, very well. But it doesn't translate to those people then because they go into, say, like a TV show with that person and they think it's going to be the same hit as that 1 minute TikTok, but it's not. And they're doing something completely different for 30 minutes and they go, oh, I'm not really vibing with this, switch it off. So the following doesn't quite translate to actual, audience engagement, which I think is fascinating.
Well, it is. And it just comes down to the fact that every type of medium that we consume for entertainment has expectations. You go into it with expectations. Like if you buy a video game for $90, you're expecting 100 hours of gameplay at least, right? Whether that's, PUBG or Fortnite or any of those kind of like online battle royales, or if you're more like me and need to be immersed in deep story with choice and role playing and all that kind of stuff. I'm more of like a Baldur's Gate, Horizon Zero Dawn kind of guy. But if you go into a TV show or a movie, you're expecting a certain thing. You watch a TikTok video on your toilet, you're expecting a certain thing, right? Just like you're expecting.
As I so often do. As I so often do. It's the culture now.
It is, right? It's just doom scroll while you're on the John.
Absolutely.
A man sits on his throne and flips through his phone.
Yeah, and then you get up. I haven't been eating corn.
Where did that come from? my kids always they're always bugging me because I always like to drop a little fart, and then I just go like, I don't remember eating that.
No. This is really gross. This is I was just going to say, you look in context that I haven't been eating corn. It's when you're reviewing your work.
Oh, I get it. It took me a second. I had to catch up there. I wish you could have seen my face there. I had the perfect the fuck face.
There was a story being played out upon your expressions.
Indeed. And as it should be.
Exactly. Because you write horror as well.
Yes.
Do you I don't know if you've done like characters with like queer representation and stuff, but Have you ever found that people in reviews will write off the entire book because of, say, like one queer character?
Yes,
I
absolutely.
find that
Yes. Yeah.
hilarious. I don't know about you. I love shitty reviews.
Me too.
I love my fans. I love my fans for like the good reviews, and I'm like, I'm really glad you love the book and everything, and that really fills me with warmth. But the shitty reviews are just so entertaining to read. They're so funny.
Yeah, I agree. You know, and I just had this conversation. What was it, yesterday or the day before? I had this conversation with a fellow author, and we were talking about reviews. And I was like, you know, I love my 5-star reviews. I love my 4-star reviews. I'll read them when I'm feeling depressed or need motivation, you know. But the 2-star reviews and the 1-star reviews, that's where all my focus goes, because that's where I'm going to learn how to be better. Or you just said, going to be entertained. Like on my steampunk book on Cloudbreaker's Valen on Goodreads, there's a 1-star review by a guy that was clearly written by AI, because everything in the review is just plot points from other people's reviews. It's flipped to a negative view, or it's stuff from the blurb, the back jacket cover. And I'm like, yep, completely glossed over anything actually of substance in the book. So, you know what I mean? And it makes me laugh, because to me, in my head, I write this story about, you know, those, as an author, I'm sure you get them too, those messages on Instagram where it's like, follow my thing. And then you immediately get a DM that's like, hey, we'd like to review your book. Here's the money, like, you know, for $100, we'll do it. And I hate to say this, it's not a racial thing, but every time you look at where the profile's based, it's in a certain country, right? That I'm very good at doing the accent for, FYI. And, you know, like, you go in and you look at this, and I think every time I think of that 1-star review, I think it was one of those people that was just pissed because I snubbed them, and I was like, not interested. So
and it's funny now, because it does seem to be so politically charged. But I mean, I don't know if you've read The Haunting at Maudsley Manor or not, but
I haven't got to it yet. It's on the top of my TBR, but
it's got a certain character in it that, in our current climate, I think is being very unfairly vilified. Certain representation, and just some of these reviews I read are just like, oh, I don't know why this deaf boy felt the need to include this type of character, like 1 star. And it's like, well, it's very clear on the political scale where you lean and how little compassion and humanity you actually have in your soul, because that's the work. I mean, that if that's the reason why you don't like the book, then you know what, fuck off, like, well and truly fuck off. Because it's so small-minded. I'm not going to try and change those people's minds. As my grandfather says very well, you know, you can't teach a pig to sing. It doesn't work, and it annoys the pig. So, you know, it's just it's sad. It's sad that we're in, you know, a state like that right now.
That's the thing. There's so much social division, and it's like, you know, at the end of the day, the way I look at the world, and here you go, listeners, I'm about to share my Kenton J. Moore's personal politics. I don't give a fuck what you are or what you do. I just care if you're a good person. End of story. Yeah. I don't like bullies. I don't like zealots. That's all there is to it. You know what I mean? I consider myself an ally, but if you're one of those people that's going to come to me and tell me that I shouldn't write these characters in my story because I'm not part of your community, you're a zealot, and piss off. I have no time for you.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
The same thing goes with the people that come to you and say, like, I didn't read your book because you included a gay character and I'm just tired of the woke agenda. You're a redneck zealot. piss off. I have no time
Yeah. No, exactly. And it's stupid. And there's no point even engaging in haters and stuff like that. So
I totally
weird.
agree. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I like it. I've had a couple things in my time as a writer that you probably would agree with. Like one of my favorite characters, one of the most comprehensively built and favorite characters in my steampunk world is she's a captain or commander, second in charge on an airship. And strikingly beautiful, model gorgeous, tall, raised by a family that's in the textiles industry, right? But they saw her beauty as value and tried to sell her and get arranged marriages and all this kind of stuff. And she was like, she feels like she's more than her beauty. And her character is actually asexual, right? She doesn't want anything to do with either sex, right? She just doesn't want romance whatsoever. So, of course, everybody in the world's like automatically, oh, you like women, or they attack her all the time. But the problem is she's like a brilliant tactician. she's so much smarter than everybody else. So when she joined the military, she rose through the ranks like incredibly fast. It's one of my favorite characters, not a main, she's a side character. But I get flack from a few people already that was like, oh, why'd you have to include a lesbian character? Is she just there because you're hitting that check mark on the woke agenda? And I'm like, if you think she's lesbian, you're not reading her right. Right. And then on the other side, on the flip side of the coin, I get people that are like, you shouldn't include that character because you don't really understand them.
Yeah, no, I've had that as well. It's ridiculous. And you try and flesh out a really well-developed and nuanced character, and you do get flack from both sides. And at the end of the day, you get to a certain point where you just say, okay, you didn't like it, you're taking time out of your day to try and I've had people like try and harass me over this. Leave me alone. I'm gonna go drink some gin and deny. Goodbye. Deny.
Yeah. You're not wrong. One of my previous interviewers said it the best I've ever heard is he said, I'm not trying to write real people. And if you're expecting real people in fiction, then you've missed the point of fiction. It's a character, the part of her character that makes her this way, right? It's not about representation and stuff. But I think in our culture, like diversity and inclusion's huge because it is everywhere. It's always been there. You just never knew it before because nobody felt confident to express themselves. That's all there is to it.
Absolutely. Right? And my future books, let's, fingers crossed. I've got another one out in May called Something on Your Mind. It's very, very trippy and weird.
Cool.
But that features very, very like diverse and very, very different characters that all kind of like come together, and they're this little like knitted friendship group that just all complement each other so well. But I can't wait for the flack I'm going to get for that. Like, it's just because I know it'll come. But that's one of my absolute favorite stories that I've written, and I can't wait for people to read that and no doubt roast it.
I wish people would realize that when they behave like that on social medias and stuff like that, the only thing that they're achieving is making the world realize how dumb they are, or solidifying the armor of their bubble. That's all it is. Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure.
All right. George, this has been awesome. Really good chat here. We're getting close to the end of time. So I like to do this little segment at the end with everybody on my interview where I call it one more question. Are you ready?
I was born ready. Let's go.
I was born ready. You're going to like this one. All right. If your imagination was a physical location, would it be a haunted mansion, a questionable alleyway, or a Tesco at 3 a.m.?
Questionable alleyway. It's got to be a moist alleyway.
Oh, you used moist. People hate that word over here.
It's what I do.
Questionable moist alleyway.
And a little bit of crust. It's got to have a little bit of crust in there.
Oh, that's atmospheric. I'm really getting like film noir vibes here.
Yeah, we're going to get a saxophone playing, going. Da, da, da. You know, there's a dodgy detective with a cigarette, being like, "This city's just, I don't know," and then he collapses drunk into a puddle of piss.
That smells like gin.
Yeah, it was the gin he consumed.
There's a manhole cover that's ejecting some sort of weird steam all the time.
You know, we were having such a lovely time, and you had to bring up manholes into this.
Yes, I did.
Absolutely.
Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Don't judge me.
I would never.
So, George, where can anybody find you? Like, where's the best place for people to find you?
In a dark alley. You know?
Smelling of gin and denial.
It must be moist. It must be moist. You can find me on Instagram. My handle is George Morris Deaf. I'm also on Twitter as @KingofSwank. Don't ask. And I'm also on TikTok as George Morris Deaf. I'm sad we didn't get to play the animal noise game.
Oh yeah, that's right. I totally forgot all about it. I just got so wrapped up in all our other fun stuff.
Listeners, I was promised.
Yes.
The animal noise game.
Yeah.
There's context for you all.
Okay.
Should we do a quick one?
Yeah, do it.
Okay. No. Do you want to give me like animals and I'll start doing them? Just whatever.
Give me a happy bumblebee. I said happy, not gay. But I guess they mean the same thing.
Yeah, they mean the same thing. I tell you, that bee is getting the honey.
Oh, boy, is he ever getting the honey. Every flower is going to be waiting for him to come over.
But it's only sweet. But it's only sweet if you can take the sting.
Oh, savage. I love it. All right, one more. What would a squirrel who drank too much gin sound like? Now doing falling off the tree.
Into a puddle of piss.
In the dark alleyway where there's a saxophone player.
Yes. That squirrel is the detective. He's so drunk. He's hanging off that branch going, We're drinking, guys.
You heard it here, folks. George Morris Deaf just created the dark side of Zootopia.
Again, it's what I do. It's
It's Zootopia noir. All right, one more. Do me a like a tiger who's a bear style in a gay nightclub in London.
There's a lot to unpack there. So was it a gay tiger who's a bear in a gay nightclub?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, man,
where has this gone? Where has this podcast gone? It's gone to the alleyway. It's in
the dark alleyway.
It's in the bin. It's in the bin, in the leaking bin, with a load of gay buzzing bees flying around, you know.
Questionable smells, yeah.
Oh, well, only the best questionable smells.
If anything, this podcast episode is going to be a fantastic story. And that's what it's all about. Storytelling.
We've been on a journey.
A journey together. Come with us. Like Carl Sagan's Cosmos with more gin. All right, everybody. It was George Morris de Ath. Look him up, follow him. Clearly, he's a very intelligent, very funny individual, and I cannot wait to read his book on the top of my TBR. Thanks for coming, George, all the way from London, my first international interview, and I'm so stoked you joined.
Thank you for having me. It's been, as we say, a journey. It's been a fun time.
It has been. It has been.
Fade to black. The end.